wanted us to put heads together, not to fault find, but to find out what went wrong. How do we take corrective measures to avoid that? And what are the things that are creating the difficulties in the system?
President Muhammadu Buhari walks the talk on fuel availability. Stakeholders kickstart process to ending perennial fuel scarcity in Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari outraged at the Nunama Omoku killings as Rivers State government announces 200 million naira reward for information that can lead to the arrest of perpetrators.
Under our watch, all presidential and other elective office aspirants will be guaranteed level playing ground.
Fresh PDP issues quick notice to party's governors forum, says it is alien to party constitution.
Huge pressure on passengers, and that is why you have a ticket like a TRM.
And more locomotives to boost movement on the Abuja-Kaduna rail line. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on NTA Network News. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. And joining me on the news tonight from Lagos is Jennifer Igwe, and Ogwachikuka Ona is in Benin, and Mariam Adura is in Jos. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed shock over the report of killings of innocent persons in Omoku River State and in Sanga local government area of Kaduna State in the new year. Those killed include the traditional ruler Etum Numana and Dr. Gambo Makama and his wife in Sanga. In a statement issued by Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Malan Garba Shehu, the President described the incident as reprehensible and unacceptable, and directed law enforcement agencies in both states to intensify the current efforts towards the speedily bringing perpetrators to face justice. President Buhari appealed to the communities affected not to embark on reprisal attacks, but allow security agencies to carry out comprehensive investigation. President Muhammadu Buhari says the federal government will investigate and bring to book all perpetrators of mayhem across the country, saying killings in the name of religion or culture can neither be justified nor tolerated. This was at a separate meeting with the leadership of Qadriya Muslim movement in Africa and the Izalatu Bid'a wa Iqamatu Sunnah in Nigeria. Sira's correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
Receiving the Qadriya movement led by Karibullah Nasir Kabara, President Muhammadu Buhari emphasized that there is no justification whatsoever for killing any member of the society. He said anyone or group of persons who unleash violence on the innocent in the name of a movement, cause, or religion lack understanding of the ordinances of God. As he puts it, you can't kill to please God. The president, without mincing words, said that the measures adopted in making significant impact in tackling the Boko Haram menace will be extended towards stopping the wanton killings. He also promised to ensure consistent review of the nation's security apparatus so that threats to peaceful coexistence can be nipped in the bud towards guaranteeing the safety of lives and property. The leader of the Qadriya movement, Dr. Karibullah Nasir Kabara, said reports of improved security situation in the northeast and better harvests for farmers across the nation are clear signs of God's favor on the Buhari administration. While calling on President Buhari to continually look unto God, Dr. Kabara promised continuous prayers for his good health and longer life to pursue the cause of building a better Nigeria that caters for all citizens. Yasin Garba Maisikeli is a member of the Qadriya movement in Nigeria.
When you have august spiritual people like this, the best you can ask is for prayers. And he asked for more prayers in support of his programs and in support of unity of Nigeria and the Nigerian people generally.
Interacting with members of the Izalatul Bid'a wa Iqamatu Sunnah led by Sheikh Balalau, President Buhari said in furtherance of the anti-graft war, security agencies have been instructed to expand their drag nets towards ensuring that sanity is restored into public offices. While urging religious leaders to chart a supportive cause, the president said, as of today, there is no hiding place for those that stole from the public either within or outside Nigeria. He, however, promised that justice will be done to all. Sheikh Balalau commended the president for the ongoing infrastructural development drive, but urged him to ensure that the lower segments of the population are always carried along. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Still on securities, River State Governor A.S.M. Wike has announced a 200 million naira reward for anyone with useful information that will lead to the arrest of the perpetrators of the January 1st killings in Aligu. This was when he visited the scene of the crime and the bereaved families for an on-the-spot assessment. Ogedi Inyekwere has the report.
On the 1st of January, the Elite Club of Omoko, a social-cultural organization that binds the people together, celebrated the return of peace in Onega, especially Omoko. Little did they know that 1st of January 2018 will remain indelible and Black Monday in the minds of indigents and residents alike, following the brutal killings by unknown gunmen that left 17 persons dead and many hospitalized. Governor Wike was accompanied on the fact-finding mission by the State Security Council, shocked at the gravity of the crime as he inspected the scene. He was also at the residence of the repentant militant turned kidnapper, Don Wane, as well as the bereaved families.
If I know they have now shot someone, also my husband and my children.
We have 17 people that have been killed. We have about 3 people hospitalized presently.
Governor Wike was emphatic that no criminal will ever wake up again to inflict this kind of pains on innocent citizens.
We must get the perpetrators of this destructive act. And that's why the government is placing a tag price of 200 million naira to make sure wherever they are, we must get them and they must face the wrath of the law.
He assured that more consultations will be held with the security agents on proper security of the area. From Omoko, Owa Ebemandoni local government area, Ogedi Inyekwere, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress APC has strongly condemned the attacks on worshippers ushering in the new year in Taiwo Isale area of Ilorin, Kwara State, and Omoku community in Ogba, Egbema, Ndoni local government area of River State, which led to the several deaths of the persons. In a statement signed by the National Publicity Secretary, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, the party condoles with the families and loved ones of the victims, as well as the government and people of the affected states. APC further calls on relevant security agencies to embark on full investigation to unravel the perpetrators and make sure they face the full wrath of the law. Benue State has directed the immediate deployment of security personnel to Guma and Logo local government areas where suspected herdsmen are alleged to have attacked and killed several persons and injured many others. Governor Samuel Otom, who visited the Benue State University Teaching Hospital to see the wounded, also proceeded on an assessment tour of the affected areas. The Nigeria Police Force has reiterated its commitment to deploy available logistics at its disposal towards combating and reducing crime in the country. Force Public Relations Officer Jimo Moshood announced this while parading suspected kidnap gang in Tofa, Sabo Wuse area of Niger State. Olajide Bello reports.
The implementation of elaborate security arrangements as directed by the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, for the Christmas and New Year festivities has no doubt yielded positive results. This is made evident by the parade of 16 suspected kidnappers and robbery gangs along Abuja, Kaduna and Abuja, Suleja, Mina axis.
There's no doubt that Operation Absolute Sanity are doing their best and they have made so many successes. But the Inspector General of Police rejigged the operation by the deployment of the Special Tactical Squad to add more impetus to the fight against kidnapping and other violent crime within this area.
Let me sincerely thank all the security agency and IG for keeping us living with our 2 eyes closed.
The first public relations officer said the Special Tactical Squad attack to Operation Absolute Sanity is to further strengthen and widen the scope of the force operations.
Force is winning the war against kidnapping, and the force is deploying more resources in this regard to ensure that kidnapping or the likes of violent crimes are reduced to the barest in the country.
The force called for continuous synergy from Nigerians through information sharing for an effective crime fighting process. From Tafa Local Government Council in Niger State, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Away from security matters and in another twist to the internal crisis in the People's Democratic Party, the splinter group, Fresh PDP, has announced the proscription of the party's governors' forum, describing it as alien to the PDP constitution. This was at a media briefing in Abuja. Political correspondent Abdullahi Garba bin Kudu has details.
This is the second media appearance of the Fresh PDP group at its new secretariat. This time around, the secretariat is named in full PDP inscriptions, indicative of the group's function parallel to the Wadata Plaza PDP national headquarters. The spokesman of the group, Obi Emmanuel Ungosu, says after consultations with party members, they have agreed for the nullification of the recent convention, the proscription of the PDP Governors Forum, while a new National Working Committee will be inaugurated January 22, 2018.
Under our watch, all presidential and other elective office aspirants will be guaranteed level playing ground during the forthcoming party primaries. No more shall our party entertain any form of list, whether unity or divisive.
Reacting to the situation via telephone conversation, the chairman of the PDP Board of Trustees, Senator Walid Jibril, advised the Fresh PDP group to exercise caution and channel their grievances to the Governor Dixon's Reconciliation Committee. But the Fresh PDP leaders have this to say.
If somebody commits fraud, you don't go for reconciliation, you go for restitution. And what we are asking for is restitution. That once restitution is done, the party will come out stronger.
Presently, there are cases against the convention before Federal High Court. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
You're watching NTA Network News. We have more reports after this time out.
Wow, Chief Mike, how are you? Fine. I'm going to Sun office for the certification of my wheat flour.
Oh no, things have changed. Sun has simplified all its activities. You could have even stayed back in Kano and process all your papers online.
Whoa.
With the efforts of Sun, the products of SMEs can now compete globally. Sun has put in place necessary machineries in support of the growth of SMEs. At highly subsidized charges, SMEs can now get their certification, laboratory testing of their products, as well as purchase of standards. Meanwhile, Sun is carrying out massive seizure of substandard goods in the market and have gotten legal backing to prosecute offenders, all to protect consumers and SMEs.
Sun, improving life through standards.
Don't let me down.
Whenever pain occurs, you want quick relief. Try new Nurofen Express. It goes to the source of pain and gets to work in under 15 minutes. That's why Nurofen Express delivers fast and effective relief. New Nurofen Express works at the source of pain, fast.
Being a mom is great, but when your child has a fever, you don't know what to do. I trust Nurofen for Children to take care of my child's pain and fever.
Effective relief you can trust.
We want to buy Indomie noodles. 4 packs, please.
Yawa.
This is not my Indomie. Please, sir, it's not Indomie. Don't call it Indomie.
Sir, the taste is the difference. The difference is in the taste. That's why my brothers, my mommy, my daddy, and I all enjoy our delicious, so very delicious Indomie noodles.
Season's greatest from Indomie. Indomie. Tasty nutrition, good for you.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant to achieve our creed as we promise. We shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
You look awesome.
Thank you. Tell me, what have you been up to?
My dear, I walked down the road.
Ah.
Yeah. Tell me about you now.
See, I'm doing so well.
Seriously? Tell me, just me now.
Okay, I'll tell you. Okay.
Excuse me, what was that now?
This is so much money. So much what?
Why did it become... Oh my God, I don't even want to mention it.
Tell you shouting.
Why won't I shout?
It's nothing bad.
Did you say it's nothing bad? Mr. Luka just found out that his son James was drowned at sea. And Mama Osaro too. Oh God, that poor woman. She was told that her daughter Nene was found on the streets of Italy, engaged in prostitution. Baba Sikiru just learned that. No, don't tell me that. I'm really disappointed.
It's not what you think at all. What, you have to go, but I have to go.
No, come back. Even Zainab, come, let me tell you.
No.
Don't be deceived. You could be the next victim of human trafficking or slavery. Don't fall for it.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
For the last 24 years, NAFDAC has made steady progress in ensuring that the health of the nation is protected. Our collective responsibility is eliminating substandard, falsified, and unsafe drugs, medical devices, foods, and water.
I urge all Nigerians to support NAFDAC in safeguarding our health. God bless Nigeria.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
The Federal Ministry of Transportation, in collaboration with the Nigerian Shippers Council and Kaduna Inland Dry Port, warmly welcomed the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, to Kaduna on the occasion of the official commissioning of Nigeria's first inland dry port. Date, Thursday, 4th of January 2018. Venue, Kaduna Inland Dry Port Complex, Kakuri, Kaduna. Time, 9 a.m. prompt. Mr. President, we appreciate you for greatly improving all the sectors of the economy. Nigerians have never had it so good, so we say thank you and welcome you to the city of Crocodile. Announcer, Alhaji Sabiu Zakari, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Transportation.
Thank you for remaining with NTA Network News. Key players in oil and gas sector met in the presidential villa, Abuja, to find a lasting solution to the issues that led to the fuel scarcity across the nation. Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Emmanuel Ibe Kachiku, who briefed journalists at the end of the meeting, says challenges identified in the supply chain will be addressed soonest. Correspondent Lydia Sampson now reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari did not mince words when he said government is determined to get to the root of the matter.
I am determined to get to the root of this collective blackmail of all Nigerians and ensure that whatever groups are behind this manipulated hardship will be prevented from doing so again.
Hence, this meeting, which had in attendance key players in the downstream and security operatives, as well as representatives of international oil companies. Minister of State Petroleum Resources gave an overview of the deliberations.
He wanted us to put heads together, not to fault find, but to find out what went wrong. How do we take corrective measures to avoid that? And what are the things that are creating the difficulties in the system? Because Fuel scarcity has been an ever-lingering 30, 40-year-old thing, and I think this is to the credit of His Excellency the President that with his government over the last 2 years, you haven't had any of this stuff.
Some marketers attribute the supply deficit to increase in global crude oil price and not a sabotage.
From January to October, the price of crude remained relatively stable. Following the Hurricane Katrina, in the month of September, October, crude prices went up. Marketers lost the ability to import and sell at 145 because crude prices had since gone up. And since the price of crude is directly proportional to the price of refined products, we could not import petrol and sell at 145 anymore.
Some factors were considered and resolved amicably that all marketers also should put hands on deck and ensure that this product reaches the retail outlets soonest.
At the end of the key players meeting in the oil and gas sector here in the presidential villa, a committee was set up, and this committee is expected to further continue deliberations tomorrow at the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, at the end of which a final position will be taken. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
Meanwhile, in Gombe, residents are beginning to breathe a sigh of relief as the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, begins to clamp down on oil marketers selling the product above the approved pump price. Abubakar Adamu reports.
With the long queues showing no sign of disappearing from filling stations across Gombe State, the Department of Petroleum Resources had no choice but to embark on daily monitoring of filling stations with a view to halting the situation. State Controller of DPR, Abdullahi Abawa, has so far sealed filling stations for selling PMAs above the official pump price. Hamadou Muhammad, a motorist who just finished fueling his car at the cost of 210 naira per litre in Kashere town, had his balance of money refunded, courtesy of the DPR inspection team. Hamadou and other petroleum users wish the surveillance exercise will be a continuous one.
The efforts are on. We are not relenting in our efforts. So it's a daily exercise until victory is achieved.
The DPR controller blamed marketers for the fuel scarcity, assuring that the department will not take it lightly any act of irregularities in the sales of petroleum product. In Gombe, Abubakar Adamu, NTA News.
Still on the fuel situation, there are indications that the fuel scarcity experienced in the country for the past 2 weeks is becoming a thing of the past. Rotimi Oluwagbemi went round to assess the situation in Lagos metropolis and now reports.
The fuel situation in Lagos is gradually improving as fuel stations visited were seen dispensing the product.
We thank God though, in fact, they are even the one calling you to come and buy fuel, unlike last week.
There's a little improvement, just like I entered there and it's not up to a minute I entered there, I got fuel.
Would we say we are happy that there is fuel now? We can easily just drive into the filling stations and get fuel. We hope it remains so.
Before Christmas, the thing was so terrible, but now we are okay.
The government, they are trying, you know, with time, everything is going to be fine. But I know, with our patience in this country, we are trying now. Everything is going to be fine. But
it's like the situation is now getting back to normal. No much queue, you can see. So it's like the economy is improving. And I believe this 2018 will be a success year for us in Nigeria.
The queues have shortened as motorists purchase PMS at the approved pump price at all the stations visited. They are, however, optimistic that the situation will fully return to normal as business activities pick up fully during the week.
Chairman, Senate Committee on Petroleum Resources Downstream, Senator Kabiru Marafa, has expressed concern over the lingering fuel scarcity in the country, despite the NMPC's repeated assurance to normalize the situation soonest. He stated this in Zamfara State. Jamilu Ibrahim now reports.
Senator Marafa, accompanied by a member of the committee from Sokoto State, Senator Abdullahi Dambaba, and some officials of the DPR, was in Zamfara State to assess the fuel situation there, preparatory to the committee's meeting with the critical stakeholders in the petroleum industry, scheduled for Thursday this week. They monitored the sale of the commodity at a number of filling stations within Gusau, the state capital, and environs. while only 2 out of the 7 filling stations visited were dispensing the product at the government-approved price. Others indulged in either holding or selling at the rate of between 225 and 235 naira per litre.
NNPC must wake up to its responsibilities. There is short supply of the products in this part of the country.
145 naira is written on the pump and it's written on the price billboard. And somebody asks you to pay 230 or 200, just refuse. Pay what you have. Let him take you to the law enforcement agency.
The lawmakers were also at the NNPC depot Gusau, which serves Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara and Katsina states, where they expressed concern over the current poor supply of petrol to the depot and the dormant state of most of the facilities there. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
As contained in the presidential New Year broadcast, the federal government is to embark on the construction and rehabilitation of 25 major economic roads spread across the 6 geopolitical zones. The projects are to be executed with the 100 billion naira sovereign sukuk bond. In this report, Works correspondent Muhammad Hamza Sheikh examined the specific projects across the country.
The sovereign sukuk is a non-interest-bearing security which is being issued by the Debt Department Office through the Federal Government of Nigeria Roads Sukuk Company, PLC. With the advantage of regular cash flow, tax-free rental income, and safe and risk-free investment, the federal government intends to use 100 billion naira sukuk proceeds to exclusively fund the reconstruction and rehabilitation of 25 roads across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. On each of the zones, 16.66 billion naira is to be spent. Breakdown of the project shows that the Northeast has the dualization of Kano-Maiduguri Road, sections 2, 3, 4, and 5, with a total sum of 16.66 billion naira. The Southeast has rehabilitation of outstanding section of Onisha-Inugu Expressway, rehabilitation and reconstruction of Inugu-Port Harcourt Dual Carriageway, sections 1, 2, and 3 at the cost of 16.66 billion naira. In the Northwest, projects to be carried out under the sovereign sukuk are the dualization of Kano-Maiduguri Road, Section 1, Kano-Katsina Road, Phase 1, construction of western bypass of Kano-Katsina Road, Section 1, and the construction of Kaduna Western Bypass, Section 1. The zone also has 16.66 billion naira for these projects. The construction and asphalt overlay of Benin Ofosu Ore Ajibandele Shagamu Road is to be carried out, along with the reconstruction of Ibadan Ilorin Road, Section 1, and reconstruction of the outstanding section of the Benin Ofosu Ore Ajibandele Shagamu Road, Phase 4, at the total cost of 16.66 billion naira. The South-South has the rehabilitation of Inugu-Port Harcourt Road, Section 4, dualization of Winagua Road, Junction Kolo-Otuoke Road, and the dualization of Lokoja-Benin Road, Sections 2, 3, and 4, to cost 16.66 billion naira. Central Zone, apart from the construction of Oju Loko Oweto Bridge over the River Benue, there is also the dualization of Abuja Abaji Lokoja Road, sections 1 and 4, dualization of Suleja Mina Road, Phase 2, and the dualization of Lokoja Benin Road. 16.66 billion naira is to be expended on these projects as well. The Buhari administration is optimistic that the development of infrastructure will not only propel investment and enhance security, but also boost socio-economic activities of the people. Muhammad Hamza Sheikh, NTA News.
Joining me now is Mr. E.B. Turner Menasa, an engineer and Deputy Director, Highways Development in the Federal Ministry of Power, Works and Housing. You're welcome, Mr. Menasa.
Thank you very much.
From the report you just saw, it appears 2018 will be an infrastructure year.
I agree.
How does it translate to from your position and your focal area?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, this Sukuk funding has come at the right time because the ministry has always looked for other sources of funding to fund their projects. projects have been awarded at very high cost. I mean, at the cost contract sums of the project is quite a lot, and the government was at a loss. How do we fund this project? It can't just come from the capital budget. But with these other sources of funding, we expect that most of this project will be completed on schedule.
So how ready, will you say now the ministry is ready to take up this challenge of this gigantic infrastructural development all across the country at the same time?
I agree so, because with these payments now, quite a lot of the debts that were owed to contractors have been reduced drastically. In that way, they can now focus on doing new works and then completing quite a number of sections on the roads that we have made.
In specific terms, which ones will you say can be concluded in 2018? Which ones will delve into 2019?
Like we talked about the local Weto Bridge, there's one half of it is already, one side of it is already completed, 2 lanes. And the second 2 lanes is expected to be completed by the end of 2018. Talking about maybe November or December.
Mr. Menasa, Deputy Director, Highways Development, Federal Ministry of Works, Power and Housing, thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
I've been talking with Mr. Ibi Tena Menasa, the Deputy Director, Highways Development, Federal Ministry of Power, Works and Housing, on the various gigantic projects of road construction that will soon begin across the country. 2 more locomotives and 10 coaches are ready for deployment on Abuja-Kaduna route of the Nigerian Railways. Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, announced this after an audience with President Muhammadu Buhari on the planned inauguration of the facility on Thursday.
The president is pleased with the arrangement because basically you will then be able to discharge the passenger pressure that we have. We have huge pressure on passengers, and that is why you have a ticket racketeering. When the demand outstrips supply, then you will see all sorts of attempts to cheat the passengers. It's one of the locomotives is dedicated to doing the direct listen from Lagos, from Kaduna to Abuja non-stop. So yeah, it should be doing 1 hour 15 to 1 hour 20 minutes to Abuja. That will enable those who live in Abuja and work in, who live in Kaduna and work in Abuja to actually come to work on time. It means that if you leave Abuja at 6 o'clock, at 7:15, 7:20, you should be in Abuja.
The Minister of Transportation, however, announced that with the resultant increase in comfort for passengers, there will be minor adjustment in fares towards putting a stop to racketeering. On the recent killings in Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi described the situation as worrisome and urged the state government to do more towards protecting lives and property. Jennifer is in Lagos to bring us more on NTA Network News. Over to you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Kudu. Good evening and a warm welcome to Lagos. Now, caregivers and social workers came together in Lagos to unwind and share ideas on global best practices in nurturing children with special needs and ensuring that they are socially included in the society. The event was organized by a non-governmental organization known as a Smile on Their Faces initiative. Musa Toliat tells us more.
It was an event organized to help caregivers identify peculiar care and needs of children living with several health conditions and rub minds on ways of surmounting challenges associated with such conditions. Resource persons at the gathering stressed that empathy plays a significant role in understanding the behavioral patterns of children with special needs, and it makes it easy to evaluate their progress.
Most of these are our special needs individuals. They are teaching and learning more to be structured.
Caregivers should be able to support those children and also help them to get some form of independence.
Issues bordering on constant training for caregivers, government intervention in homes for the physically challenged, and the need to establish an association for caregivers were also discussed.
We were taught of so many other ways we can take care of the special needs children.
When we remember that we are doing charity work, then we do it with every gladness.
I talk about having a registered association, people with common focus, common mind.
And they should be paid handsomely. This is not a regular civil service scale that should be given to a caregiver.
Organizers say the event is aimed at elevating the standard of caregivers and appreciating their roles in the society.
People are good at giving gifts, yes. They visit all the homes, but these caregivers
who are looking after the special children. Nobody ever remembers them. Because of that, I said, well, let me do something for them to appreciate them.
Done with the formal aspect of the gathering, participants were treated to a cozy reception and light entertainment. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
This is
He wanted us to put heads together, not to fault find, but to find out what went wrong. How do we take corrective measures to avoid that? And what are the things that are creating the difficulties in the system?
President Muhammadu Buhari walks the talk on fuel availability. Stakeholders kickstart process to ending perennial fuel scarcity in Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari outraged at the Nunama Omoku killing as Rivers State government announces 200 million naira reward for information that can lead to the arrest of perpetrators.
Under our watch, all presidential and other elective office aspirants will be guaranteed level playing ground.
Fresh PDP issues quick notice to party's governance forum, says it is alien to party constitution.
Huge pressure on passengers, and that is why you have a ticket racketeering.
And more locomotives to boost movement on the Abuja-Kaduna rail line. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on NTA Network News. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. And joining me on the news tonight from Lagos is Jennifer Igwe, and Ogwachikuka Ona is in Benin, and Mariam Adura is in Jos. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed shock over the report of killings of innocent persons in Omoku River State and in Sanga local government area of Kaduna State in the new year. Those killed include the traditional ruler Etum Numana and Dr. Gambo Makama and his wife in Sanga. In a statement issued by Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Public...
Welcome to Business News. The Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) has enjoined all shareholders to take advantage of the initiatives introduced in the capital market aimed primarily at strengthening the market and accelerating economic development. The Acting Director General SEC, Dr. Abdul Zubair, listed the initiatives to include continuation of the e-dividend enrollment, extension of forbearance for multiple account consolidation, and issuance of dividend paper warrants.
All investors that are yet to enroll are enjoined to continue with the registration exercise at a marginal cost of 150 naira only.
Meanwhile, Nigerian stocks are expected to keep rising in 2018. This is fueled by hopes that lower interest rates and a stable currency will help corporate profits, but traders say gains might be short-lived. And it was a green open day for equities at the Nigerian Stock Exchange in the first day of trading. Next is a graphic summary of figures from the NAC. The stock market report concludes business news for this hour. I am Amina Nujain. Good evening.
For more reports on NTA Network News, let's join Ogwachikuka in Benin.
Thank you, Kudu. Good evening and welcome. The New Year broadcast of President Muhammadu Buhari to Nigerians on issues confronting the nation has been eliciting reactions from residents of Benin. Correspondent Philomena Bebo has been feeling their pulse on this.
Buhari says his administration wants to address the country's huge infrastructural deficit and make significant inroads into the rail lines and power projects across the country. The president pointed out that the railway lines connecting virtually all parts of the country, when completed, will boost the socio-economic fortunes of Nigerians.
I was very impressed with the infrastructural development, the agric, and the security generally. So I think it's a good speech.
To me, that is very reassuring. Because if we have such effective transportation system in this nation, and we also have self-sufficiency, then we are heading towards a booming economy.
The president's speech highlighted what people wanted to know. Infrastructural developments. He spread this over the 6 geopolitical zones.
It is, however, the expectations of Nigerians that the New Year promises of the president are translated into reality for the benefit of the common man. In Benin, Philomena Ogbebo, NTA News.
Edo State government has reaffirmed its commitment to providing quality healthcare services to the people. Wife of the governor, Betsy Obaseki, stated this while presenting gifts to the first babies of the year in Benin. Elizabeth Owotoma has details.
The first point of call was the Central Hospital, where the wife of the governor presented gifts to a baby girl delivered about 11:56 p.m. with a weight of 3.7 kg. From the Central Hospital, the governor's wife made way to the Stella Basajo Hospital to welcome the first baby, born to Mrs. Adesua Egato at about 19 minutes past 1, weighing 3.5 kg. At the St. Philomena's Hospital, Mrs. Abaseki received the first baby, weighing 3.3 kg, delivered at 19 minutes past 12.
I am very impressed. This is our own small way as government to encourage the private sector and to get you to have a sense of inclusion in government.
I never expected it. I just give all the glory to God for giving me this precious gift today.
Thank God to give us our new gifts.
The governor's wife was also at UBTH during the Christmas celebration to present gifts to patients. In Benin, Elizabeth Owotoma, NTA News.
And as our contribution from Benin is back to you, Kudu.
Thank you, Ogochukuka. And from Benin, we move to Jos and join Mariam Adura, who is standing by. Hello, Mariam.
Good evening. Happy New Year to you. For Nigeria to attain greater heights, Nigerians must put aside their differences and propagate peaceful coexistence and tolerance. This was the central message of the Bungum Jos, that Jacob Yangbuba, at a luncheon he organized for illustrious sons and daughters of Birom land. Ekamerin Kaneng Laduja has details.
The luncheon, which drew daughters and sons of the Birom nation, was organized to chart a developmental path for the Birom people and to give thanks to God for his grace in the year 2017 and to seek his blessings for the year 2018. The Bungum Jos, Da Jacob Yangbuba, while appreciating the federal government for its support in the area of tourism, encouraged the Biroms to take part in the continuous voters registration and the national identity card registration.
Our appeal goes to all peoples to contribute to peaceful coexistence.
The Secretary to the State Government, Rufus Baturi, President, Church of Christ in Nations, Kokin, Reverend Dacholom Datiri, and the Vice President, Birom Educational and Cultural Organization, Beko, Iliakim, who all spoke in Birom language, urged the Birom people to continue to be hardworking, peace-loving, and God-fearing people. Prayers were said for peace and progress for the Birom people, Plateau State, and the nation at large. In Jos, Ekemeren Kaneng Laduja, NTA News.
Issues of mobilizing Nigerians to contribute their quota in advancing education, healthcare delivery, tackling unemployment and peaceful coexistence through community effort took center stage at the first Jos Renaissance Summit. The effort, which is aimed at identifying problems and proffering solutions to them, has aided the development of a blueprint to enhance peace and progress in Jos. Nanrot Ninet Inget reports.
The Just Renaissance Group, JRG, which began in March 2017, is an internet-based socio-political group.
Apologies for the bad visuals in that report. It was hanging, so we have to stop it. When we come back after break, sports and more. Don't go away.
It's that time of the year when we appreciate all those that mean so much to us. Our sponsors, our clients, government at all levels, corporate bodies, advertisers, religious bodies, civil society groups, political parties, businesses, and above all, you, our esteemed viewers. Together, we made 2017 great. Together, we shall make 2018 even greater. That's why we say thank you. Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
2017 in review on NTA Tuesday Live this week. Tuesday Live promises to be incisive. Join us.
Thank you so much for inspiring greatness in me, Alaji.
Alaji?
I am just rehearsing, dear.
Rehearsing for what?
A life-changing and inspiring meeting.
With who?
Alhaji Aliko Dangote.
With the FGNI app and just 500 Naira, you stand a chance to meet one-on-one with Alhaji Aliko Dangote, Africa's richest man, and win cash prizes. As the Be Inspired meetings give Nigerians a chance to meet one-on-one with icons. To qualify for the draw, download FGNI app from Apple Store or Google Play Store. Go to the Be Inspired section and follow the instructions. Cost of travel and accommodation of all winners within Nigeria will be borne by the organizers. Terms and conditions apply. Proudly supported by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
The time has come for Nigeria to take her rightful place in world sports with the first national grassroots sports festival to discover and prepare sport talent and develop future world champions for Nigeria. The festival date is 3rd to 10th March 2018. Venue is the National Stadium, Abuja, packages A and B. This is the opportunity for you to promote your brand through the festival. For broadcast sponsorship, which include live broadcasts, highlight shows, and TV fans show, contact the Chairman, Chief Coordinator, Angelo Peter I. Elosia, or Nick Onyishi. Organizers, Grassroots International Sports Academy and LOP Worldwide Television. Endorsed by the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development. Broadcast partner, NTA.
United Nations wants President Joseph Kabila of the Democratic Republic of Congo to heed the earlier agreement to conduct elections and hand over power to avoid plunging the country into another crisis. This and more on the global scene, Ado Adamu also.
Thank you and welcome. We start from Africa, where the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has urged the Democratic Republic of Congo President Joseph Kabila to abide by an agreement to leave office. Kabila, who has been in power since 2001, signed a deal with opposition groups a year ago once his current terms end and new elections are held. But violence increased in the country after the date of the new election was pushed back to December 2018, prompting fears that Kabila may seek to extend his role again. A report says 58 people were killed on Sunday and dozens arrested as Congolese security forces fired into churches to break up gathering at Catholic masses who defied government ban to demonstrate in Kinshasa and other cities. More than 15 people have been killed as clashes between protesters and security forces continued in Iran for the 6th day. The protests began last Thursday in the city of Mashhad, initially against price rises and corruption, but have since spread amid wider anti-government sentiments. President Hassan Rouhani said protests were opportunity, not right, but vowed to crack down on lawbreakers. And to Philippines now, 2 people were killed and thousands fled strong winds and flood as tropical depression hit the central Philippines following deadly back-to-back storm during the Christmas season. The deaths were reported on Cebu Island, where an elderly woman was killed in a landslide while a man died after hitting his head on the pavement as the storm cut off electricity in the area. And that is it from here. The news continues.
And in sports, home-based Super Eagles set to travel to Morocco ahead of the African Nations Championship, CHAN. And former tennis world #1 Andy Murray pulls out of Brisbane International. Kenny Amagwadike has details.